recording button.
I'm doing a crossword.
And we start that stream. Welcome to Horsin Around, a dumbass cast. I'm your host, as always, Nick Mercadante, and with me today I have three lovely guests. If you'd like to introduce yourselves.
It's me, the man who can't tell if he's regaining or losing more hair.
Hey guys, it's me, Angela Hudak, here to slurp a raw egg on cam for you.
And I'm Colin Todd.
Yep, we got it. We got the whole crew here. Everybody's here. There's also a little friend behind Jay, but we won't worry about them. Happy belated New Year's, guys. This is the first return to form episode.
Jack, what have you been up to?
But
I didn't spend this New Year's in the hospital, so that's a positive.
That is usually a positive.
Was that a possibility for you?
Have you thought about going?
Happened last year.
Oh, right, the diabetes. Yeah. Alright, that does suck. That
I don't know. It was pretty funny.
Was it when you were in the hospital? You were like, "Yeah, this is funny."
This is a pretty poggers moment.
Yeah,
gotta say.
Yeah,
hey, Jack, it's like you said. You're like, I lost all this weight. Isn't that great? And then the doctor said, "Yeah, sorry about that. I gotta tell you something."
Congratulations, or I'm sorry.
Oops.
You got the beatus.
Oh well.
But yeah, welcome back, guys. I hope you guys had a safe and happy New Year's. And, yeah. Hope I just fucking, you know, I listened to that new Weekend album, the
new
Dawn FM. That shit sounds
well. This podcast is recorded on Saturdays, so if you think about it, every time it's the weekend, so it happens every.
Okay, all right. You proud of that bit? I'm also gonna.
I think I am because even though I don't even dislike the Weeknd's music, I do I'm just kind of like. He's really called The Weeknd?
But there's no E in end.
Yeah,
I know there's no E in end.
Special.
But there's still E's in week.
That's
so.
Yeah. Do you think they should have removed all of the E's?
I think they should have just gotten rid of all the vowels.
Weeknd.
Yeah. But yeah.
There's some weird effect happening on my camera, and I don't know if it's coming through the screen or not. That's okay.
The thing where it looks like your face is vibrating.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, that is coming through.
Hell yeah, perfect. I don't know if that's
just a little mini seizure warning just for Jacob's face.
Yeah, my USB was loose. I literally just pushed my USB in a little bit more.
There you go.
That would do it.
Let
me turn my lamp off.
But yeah, so
don't you fucking do it, Jack. I swear to God.
Since we didn't get to cover stuff last week, because last week was the specialty Brandreth episode, there is some stuff we can catch up on and discuss. There were...
Like how you have the least amount of facial hair on this episode?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, wow. You specifically, Jay and Jack have like a similar cut going on right now, which is interesting.
My
what you mean being white and having facial hair?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Jay?
I was gonna say my stash is a bit thinner than Jack's, but in exchange, I think my beard's a bit thicker at the moment.
Yes.
An equivalent exchange. But
what do you mean by that, Nick?
You know, Full Metal Alchemist, everybody's favorite anime of all time.
What do you mean by that?
Just a funny little reference.
I'm a big fan of that one episode with the dog.
Yeah.
And the kid?
Yeah. I might have talked about this before, but when I watched that show, I did not realize how many of like the really fucked up shit and like all of the memes are most of them happen within like the first 10 episodes. Like there is so much more show that just never got spoiled for me, which I'm eternally grateful for because that show is amazing to watch blind. But like, yeah, the dog thing, the fucking it's a terrible day for rain shit, like all that happens so fast.
That's not that early.
It's not. Yeah, it's not
a terrible day for rain happens.
That's pretty solidly midway.
That's like no, that's like season 1 or 2. Out of like,
It might be season 2.
Imagine associating Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood with seasons and not very long episode lists on sketchy websites you found the show on.
Or also just very long episode lists on Netflix because they never bothered to actually split it into seasons.
Oh, good.
Oh
okay.
yeah. Well, no,
You
they
don't
had
need
seasons on
seasons.
Netflix. I watched it.
They
on
didn't
there.
they didn't whenever I watched it
Oh,
years
okay.
ago.
Interesting.
That checks out. My favorite thing is in Brotherhood, the first episode. It spoils the whole fucking show.
Yes,
For sure.
it's great.
It's
What?
fantastic. My favorite character.
Wait,
It's
I'm
so
trying to
good.
think. Spoiled for Full Metal Alchemist, I guess. What are you talking about?
But the first episode of Brotherhood features a rogue alchemist who is trying to assassinate Bradley.
Yes.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And there's
My favorite part of Full Metal Alchemist is they named the character the Führer, and then they told you, yeah, don't worry, we swear he's not
a
the
good
villain.
guy, I promise.
He's all right. Check him out. He's got a cool little eye patch.
Not just Führer
He's got
King.
a sword.
That's true.
Yeah, Führer King, he's got a sword. He is in
a
charge
title
of this
second only to
very
God
German-looking land that has a lot of race relations and genetic testing on children. Shit.
We're
We're like
talking
a
about-
piece this one together.
Are we
No,
the
Full Metal
And to
baddies?
top it all off, the eye
Attack on
patch.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh man, yeah. But what a fucking good
What
show.
a good
though.
show. What a good manga, too.
Speaking of shows, though, one of the topics that I think Jacob dropped in here was best movies,
cool books.
and I will tentatively stretch it to shows if people want to talk about shows of 2021.
Boo, no one watches TV. This is my
Okay.
crusade against television for
Okay,
going on 20
I need
years
to ask
now.
you, did you watch,
watch
Doom
almost
Patrol? Because
exclusively
I
TV.
specifically remember you recommending Doom Patrol, but
Oh
that
no,
is-
Doom Patrol is fun, but I watched like season 1 of Doom Patrol. Look, me saying boo television is like a joke. I don't know if you could piece that
No,
one
I
together,
know, but
Nick.
you don't watch a lot
But
of television.
That is true.
unironically. Like, you just
The
don't.
I am allergic to television thing though is real. Where
Yeah.
I'm just like, someone will be like, "Hey, watch this great show." I'm like, "I'm sure it's wonderful." Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah, that first
know
episode of
if I
Doom
watched any
Patrol
movies that
is a doozy, and I'm looking forward to the second one and more after.
oh, you've only watched one episode.
Yeah, we literally just watched the first episode and just kind of, I don't know, whenever Bichu throws it on, I'll probably just hop in, and then if he does it without me, then I'll just watch it on my own. But
I got you. Doom Patrol, good show. I like that show.
yeah,
I'm probably going to get an HBO Max subscription so that I can watch all of the Matrixes, and I'll probably just watch Doom Patrol as well. Because I want to watch
deal-
Resurrections in theaters. Because
Yeah.
people keep being like, Resurrections is bad, and everything they tell me is bad about it. I'm like, nah, this sounds great. This sounds exactly like the movie I want.
No, yeah, I went and watched it in theaters with Dylan Chattery. Actually, it was
Really?
yeah, there was very much a last minute thing. I was in town on like the 22nd, but really before I headed home.
Nice.
And then we decided to just go out, and then we ended up having to basically winter sports the entire way back home.
No,
As you should.
Yeah,
As you should.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a funny little tangent. So when I was coming back from Brandreth, you know how there's like an hour's worth of driving before you get to any form of civilization at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
So on that drive back to civilization, pretty
was
close,
it not an hour long?
Yeah, so pretty close to like when you get out of like the woods, and it's like there's a road, but it's still, you can't connect to the internet, and it's still basically bumfuck nowhere.
On the paved road or past the
It's
first gate on the
paved,
dirt
but it
road?
wasn't plowed because they don't have trucks
Yeah, of
plow
course
that
not.
road.
Well, why
And
would
so yeah, well, because I ended up sliding into a fucking ditch is why they should plow those roads. I have
Probably
my
could have
fucking,
predicted that one.
like sports
Sounds like
utility
a you
vehicle.
problem, honestly.
Yeah, it
Why
was.
would the government
but
care about
thankfully, Potter was there to pull me out, which was very fortunate. But then also, my tire slid off its rim, so then I had to
Oh.
put in the donut
Ooh.
and drive all the way back to fucking Syracuse with the donut, which was really cool. Driving 45
That's pretty
on the
impressive.
interstate. Yeah,
How
I'm
much shit did
just
Potter give
glad
you?
it made it back in one piece, because there was also a dangling bit of plastic that got fucked up by running into the ditch. Thankfully, like not like I kind of went sideways into it, and thank God my fucking doors didn't get damaged, because I already am taking my car to a collision shop because over Thanksgiving break, a friend backed into my driver's side door, and that costed like $3,000, and thankfully their insurance just covered it.
It cost $3,000. What is your
what?
fucking yeah?
They had to replace the door. Like it got like it's not even that big of a dent,
did they hit it?
but it is enough of a dent that it crunched the metal, and so the metal like they can't buff it out. Like they can't.
Dude,
just fucking drive with it.
I love shops.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I respect it because like if I was in that situation and I'm like, watch this guy, he's gonna think he's gonna need a new door, and then he walks over here and he's like, yeah, we can't do anything for the door. This minor scratch needs a fucking replacement.
But anyway, so none of that shit got damaged, thankfully, but this plastic on the front got fucked up. So there was a bit dangling dangerously close to the tire, but I made it all the way home without it going underneath the tire and fucking things up further. And
well, if you did that, then it would be a Marvel reference, because then you'd have No Way Home.
Wow. Hey, have we all seen No Way Home? That's a movie.
I have not.
I have not.
Okay, all right, then we'll avoid that discussion.
We're like, no way to watch that movie.
Okay,
right?
Jacob, very edgy, very cool.
I can't be stopped.
But yeah, so that happened. I actually got under the fucking plastic, and there was like a screw that was basically holding it on at that point. So I was able to unscrew that and take it off so that it's no longer at risk of going under my tire. I just noticed today that there were a bunch of very pointy nails sticking up from that piece that was hanging. So that would have not only possibly fucked up the rest of the plastic by getting pulled under the wheel, it also would have flattened my tire. So very glad that did not happen. But
yeah, for sure.
What were you? Sorry, tangent.
Anyway, I think my 2021 movie of the year was Werewolves Within. Mostly because I think Milana Vaintrub is hot, but also because I really like Clue, the movie.
I do need to watch Werewolves Within. I know
it's
that
very
Werewolves
fun. It's
Within
very cute.
It was on my. I have a lot of movies that I watched this year, and yet a lot of them I was just like, newer movie coming out. It's not in a theater, guess I won't see it.
I'm pretty sure someone has it on Plex, which is where I watched it.
I'm trying to think of.
To be clear, with a legal DVD copy that they purchased from the retail store.
That's the only way you can watch things on Plex.
Yeah,
of course.
There's no other way you can watch things on Plex.
I rip all my Blu-rays myself.
What did I even see this
I hand transcribed the image.
I have
onto my computer.
That bits from the DVD.
Yeah.
Entire reanimated films.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can go through my top 5 highest rated movies, because I also think I might switch some of them around, because there are a couple movies on here that I might be like, oh, this should be higher.
Yeah. Sure,
like there are movies that I think about more that I think were lower on my list when I watched them than my highest rated.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want? Do we just want to talk about
what were
best
some
movies?
What were some highlights of the year for you?
I think my number one movie of the year is probably going to be Pig. It's currently highest rated and is the closest one to a 10 I've seen this year.
Pig was a very good movie.
Pig's very good. Pig Make Me Cry. It's about Pig and Nicolas Cage, but it's actually about existentialism and the crushing boot of capitalism.
But Jacob, I thought it was going to be John Wick with a pig. Why wasn't it John Wick with a pig?
Motherfuckers literally be like, I thought it'd be John Wick with a pig, and then they watch a very soft telling story about a man dealing with grief and loss, and they're like, but it's not John Wick with a pig. And I'm like, bitch, these are the same themes that John Wick goes through. And the difference is that Nicolas Cage uses compassion in order to overcome his enemies, and John Wick uses gun. That's the only difference.
That's the only one.
To find out.
The only one.
It is the only one because in Pig there is a secret society.
That is true. Yeah, that shit was hilarious.
That scene's great.
That's like a first act thing. That's not even like second act.
That scene is.
I don't care. I'm gonna forget this.
that scene is the most. How do we make a culinary subplot that is the equivalent of a man taking his cock out in front of everyone, being like, "Look how fucking big my cock is." That's what that scene is. That scene is, I'll fucking show you, and it works, and you're like, yay, this is great. Well. And then the movie goes on, and you're like, why am I sad? And then the movie ends, and you're like, wow, I'm really sad. What the fuck?
Her Letterboxd, my highest films of 2021 were Dune, Fear Street, 1994, Werewolves Within, and Brand New Cherry Flavor. Brand New Cherry Flavor was actually good.
I haven't heard of that.
I'm trying to remember.
This is a limited series.
Yeah,
it's not a movie.
It's a fucking
checkmate.
it's movie length.
I'm joking. I'm sorry.
It's about a young filmmaker who heads to Hollywood in the 90s with like a movie she wants to make. And she hooks up with like a producer. But obviously gets fucked over by said producer, and so she turns to magic to exact her revenge.
Counterpoint: this episode is 51 minutes long. That is not feature length, Jack. You fucking liar.
How many episodes are there? It's like 9 or something, right?
Oh shit! You're right. Let me pull up the Golden Girls and put that on my best films of all time list.
I mean, well,
if you add up all the episodes of Golden Girls, then it's feature length.
How long is this? It's 8 episodes of 45 minutes each. Yeah, okay.
It's a limited series.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm not trying to be elitist. I'm sorry. It's just I am though.
It's very body horror.
It's what you are doing right now.
The only thing I know is elitism. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's a defense mechanism.
I'm nothing without elitism.
The problem
the critic from Ratatouille, that's me.
The problem with my Letterboxd is that I'm looking at it, and I only started using it when I did my horror month, so pretty much all of these are just older movies that I just watched for my horror month, which I guess I could talk about as like good movies I saw this year, but as far as movies that came out this year...
Oh yeah, we can do movies we saw this year. I think that's fair. That'd be fun. Movies we saw this year that are really good.
But like as far as movies that came out this year, Dune is the one that I managed to put on Letterboxd after seeing it, and probably is one of the best movies I saw this year. It was really good, even with its differences from the book and taking away from the politics that were kind of fun with that. I think the visuals and the fucking score, fucking Zimmer, just...
I'm going to say something that's controversial, because I know Jack already disagree with this. And it's that I already saw a Denis Villeneuve movie that people are saying Dune is like, and it's called Blade Runner 2049. And I think Blade Runner 2049 is a much better film than Dune 2021.
I mean, that's fair.
I didn't like Blade Runner 2049.
I know. That's why I preface this with, I know how Jack's going to feel about the statement I'm about to say.
Oh my god.
But I know we talked about this when it came out, but I still can't figure out if Dune is actually a good movie, or if I really like it because I'm filling in everything I know from the book.
I think this is fair, because that's how I felt, where I put Dune as a 6 out of 10, which I have a normal grading scale. 6 isn't bad, 5 is average, anything above a 5 is good,
watchable,
anything below a 5 is bad. And so that literally was me being like, I cannot formulate an actual opinion on this film without more information first. Because at the end of Dune, Dennis is like, anyway, thanks for watching the setup for the next movie. And you're like, wait, Dennis, where are you going? And he's like, I'll see you in 3 years, bitches.
Hey, thanks for watching the least interesting part of this story.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Because I also think Act 1 of Dune is really cool, and I really like it. And Act 2 and 3 of Dune is like them being like, all right, so now that we've given you all the setup for this cool world, we have to do all this House Atreides bullshit that we're just going to blow up by the third act. We understand it's not that important, but in all honesty, the complex intricacies. Anyway, Timothée Chalamet is going to be the least interesting character for this first movie. We're sorry he's the main character right now, but you just got to deal with it.
They drop all of like the politics.
Trust the process.
You're just watching a twink be adored by a certain people.
I think that's what's weird, is that's another thing where I almost have to rewatch Dune, because like a week after Dune, I was like, wait a second, is Dune YA fiction? And I just didn't know that.
Dune Dune as YA fiction is a statement and a half. Wow.
I want to unhear that.
It's too late. It's too late. I literally coming out of that, I was like, everyone is talking about like it's like this grand epic, and I guess they're kind of right. And then I was like, wait a sec, it's a grand epic, but it's a grand epic which is YA fiction where the main character is I'm the special chosen teenager with the special power.
Oh
yeah.
Special.
And it's counterbalanced by his name being Paul. In this world of like all these fantasy names, he's just fucking Paul.
I know we've talked about this before, but I don't think Dune should be a standalone book. I think that if you read Dune, you should at least also read the second book.
Really?
Yes, and you think that should be enforced by martial law.
By law. Because Dune really is a prequel.
It really ends on a cliffhanger, like at the end of Dune. Like I ended Dune and I was just like,
it doesn't end with a cliffhanger. It ends with Zendaya saying, "Anyway, get ready for the actual story that's about to happen."
No,
and you're like,
I know,
"Wait, Zendaya,
movie,
where are you going?"
Even the book the movie hasn't even finished yet. The book ends on a cliffhanger for like what the fuck is about to happen at the point where like yes, something. Like, a thing is completed.
Well, I think the book doesn't entirely end on a cliffhanger. It completes a segment of the story.
Yeah, but it very clearly leaves open much.
You can draw conclusions from that story, but they're wrong.
Yeah.
Yes, Nick. I think this is also an example I thought about Dune a lot, where I was like, but I like Lord of the Rings a lot. Why did I not enjoy Dune 1 as much? And I was like, oh, that's because Lord of the Rings: Fellowship of the Ring concludes that book, and that book's conclusion, well, still like. Wow, we have a long journey ahead of us still. It's still like a cohesive end of a story. Like it has a beginning, middle, and end. Yeah. And the end is just oh yeah, there's technically more adventure, but we have kind of wrapped up the sequence of the adventure.
Yeah.
And Dune Part 1 is like we've wrapped up part 1 of this first adventure in the Dune series.
Act. Yeah.
And you're like wait, what do you mean?
I would say actually comparing Dune's like the book's ending to the Fellowship's ending would be very apt. And then if you were to compare Dune the movie's ending, it would be like if Fellowship ended when they got to the Elf City and they had the meeting about how to take the ring.
That is very true. It's like they just got past the part where they've crossed the river.
Yeah.
And then Arendelle or whatever her name is, can't remember it right now. Is just like anyway.
We gotta form a
welcome to Elven City, Frodo. Oh wow! And then it's like just a wide shot of the city as they're entering into it, and you're like, oh okay, all right. Well, no, at this point Frodo's still like dead. They
don't even see the city.
Yeah, Frodo's still fucking dead. So it's like what's her name being like. We finally made it, as she says that out loud to the corpse of Frodo on the back of her fucking Steve.
Anyways, I mean, even with all those faults, I really love Dune.
No, I understand why people
also really liked it.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of any other movies. Honestly, I gotta give a little bit of a shout out to fucking way back in spring of 21 when Godzilla vs. Kong came out on HBO Max.
Oh my god!
I still want to. I want them to fucking do another theatrical release of that movie, like now, so I can go and see it in a theater safely. Like or at least relatively safely. You know.
Where? Oh, here it is. Sorry, it was so low on my list. I had to find it.
I had a lot. It was dumb. It's a dumb movie, but I knew that going into it, and I just had fun with it. And like,
it's just like a fun brawl.
Yeah,
I think that's fine.
Yeah,
it is better than 2021's Mortal Kombat.
That is very true. That movie, so stupid.
Most things
y'all
are better
sleeping on the
than
best movie released this year, The Kissing Booth 3.
What? Huh?
Don't fucking Jack! I swear to fucking God, if I have to have a discussion about the Kissing Booth 3 in public right now.
Jay, what?
Don't make me.
Have you?
I subjected myself to all three of
for
those
new movie
movies.
releases.
I barely watch movies as it is, so the only two I can remember that I watched right now, anyways, are Encanto, which I'm watching for a second time. That actually like right before this, and then Matrix
I didn't
Resurrections,
love Encanto.
and that's it.
What was the second one?
Matrix Resurrections, as we already discussed.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
remember when they had 3 Matrixes, and then then this one they resurrect those. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude! Have you?
It's actually just a clip show from the previous 3 movies.
Jack, you can't say that. Jack, you don't understand. The little bits I know about the movies, you can't make that joke.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Jacob, did you see the Red Letter Media review for it already, or have you not seen that?
No, all I saw was them slapping their forehead, and I was like, I understand this is probably a Red Letter Media review that I'm going to end up disagreeing with, so that's fine.
I don't know. I mean, watch it and watch the movie, and then watch the review and see what you think. But they had some interesting thoughts on it.
Anyway, can I? Yeah. Sorry, was someone saying something?
I was gonna say, has everyone watched it, or have you not watched it yet, Jacob?
What, Resurrections?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I have to watch. I'm gonna watch the first 3, and then I'll watch Resurrections on my own.
Okay. All right. Yeah. What I got out of it is it was an event piece by Lana Wachowski about how she didn't want to make it, like at all.
Yes.
Like even.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
I'll leave it at that for now.
I think it's more because Lana Wachowski did want, like, there are interviews of her being like, I finally figured out what I wanted to do. And it does sound like the event piece part is that, but the event piece is almost like, fuck, people keep fucking shouting at me about the Matrix for years. Jesus Christ.
Right. Yeah.
They the one thing I'll say from the Red Letter Media review is that they were like, they should have just called it The Matrix Rebooted. That's a fucking computer term. Like, that would have worked.
Oh.
It would have been a fucking great title, and it's also essentially what they're doing. So, it would have been great, and they missed such a good opportunity. But alas.
I got a couple more movies I want to talk about. Can I talk about those movies?
Yeah, sure.
Fuck yeah. You fucking fool.
Absolutely.
I'm going through the entire list.
Oh, God.
I watched Tragedy of Macbeth. That's pretty good. That's like probably my favorite in terms of set design. That should win like set design or whatever the fuck at Oscar. I think.
Is it just like Macbeth?
Yes,
Macbeth?
It is Macbeth. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's Macbeth. It's a little truncated because it's you can't translate Macbeth into a 2-hour long movie.
Maybe you can. I'm built different, and I will transcribe all of Macbeth to film.
2 hours of shouting out damn spot and washing his hands aggressively.
Macbeth is really good. The only thing I had with it is I think Frances McDormand's energy for Lady Macbeth is a little bit off, but other than that, I think everyone else is like fucking firing on all cylinders in that movie. Oh, also the lady who plays the witches, she's fucking insane. She's like supporting actress lock. She won't win it because the Oscars are dumb, but fucking give her all the awards. She's like a contortionist, and she plays all 3 witches at the same time, and it's so fucking good. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep to my top 5.
Yeah.
That's my actual thing.
Yeah.
Next on the list, Malignant. That movie's about the cycle of abuse, and it's a masterpiece. I mean, it's an 8 out of 10, but I could move it up the list.
But
it's literally the only reason it's not a masterpiece is because the first half of the movie goes on for a little too long.
I had fun watching Malignant. I will give you that. It was fun.
That movie falls into someone has a profound message to say, and they put it hidden behind one of the schlockiest movies they could make.
Profound.
No, it's very much. I think, like, literally multiple weeks after watching that movie, I was like, "Oh shit!" That scene also reinforces what the themes of the film. Their decision in that also reinforces the themes of the film. It's so fucking good. I love it so much.
It just felt like
it abuses you into
to
thinking about it for weeks afterwards.
Movie, but then he wanted to make a horror movie, and then he wanted to make both of them. And
that
he kind of did. And
Nick, the answer is yes, but the thing that I think that makes Malignant unironically great is that it does all of that and then is secretly like, actually this movie is about how abuse is a cyclical situation. It's a cycle passed down generations, and the effects of that can be felt, and the only way to really overcome that is through empathy. Anyway, we're going to show you this by creating a scary backhead monster that forces someone to walk backwards. And you're like, I love you, James. I love you, my sweet baby boy.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. What was the rest of the 5?
Look, this is a movie that I think I'm the only one who's seen all the way through. But
you're not going to say Titan, are you? Please don't
I am going to say Titan.
No!
I love Titan, baby!
The girl fucks the car movie.
I love Titan, baby. That's one about family.
It's not. It's not.
It is about... I'm so mad. You're literally like Spider-Man No Way Home, a movie that only alludes at themes and doesn't actually tackle anything, is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. And then you're like, shit. This movie that uses creative visual techniques in order to show its themes, you're like, I don't think it's about anything.
Critical thinking? Not in my brain.
Sometimes, sorry, Nick. Sorry for getting
the girl fucks the car, and my brain turned off.
And ironically, the more I hear about Titan, the more I think I'd like it.
Series of events to occur.
I want you to check it out, Jax, just so I can hear your opinion. Look, all I'm saying is that I was in a call with Pat the other night, and Pat's been Titan pilled. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I bet he has.
Pat says, the more I thought about that movie, the more I think it's not bad. And I'm like, we fucking did it, boys. We got one on the Titan train. Anyway, my 5th one is Candyman, but I think I would probably switch that on my favorite.
Pretty good. I like
Candyman. I like Candyman a lot, but I think in terms of like a top one, Candyman is right on the edge there with Spencer for me. Spencer's another movie where I was just like, oh, fuck. That movie was really good. Spencer is literally a guy making a biopic about Princess Diana, and you go in there and you're like, I guess this is just going to be a biopic. And then he's like, fucking psych, it's a psychological thriller, you dumb piece of shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck, he tricked me.
That's what I wish House of Gucci was, but then it was House of Gucci.
Yes, then it was House of Gucci. And you're like, why am I watching this? And then Jared Leto comes to the screen and he's like, oh, Mia Familia, Olive Garden. And you're like, yay.
Oh god.
It feels racist somehow.
No. Anybody who's fucking complaining about Jared Leto's fucking impersonation of Italian people needs to shut the fuck up. It was great. I did forget that the Suicide Squad did come out this year, and that was a pretty fun movie.
Oh.
I like that.
That was funny.
That's another one that was like a 6 out of 10 for me, where I was like positive on it, but also like, I don't know. I wasn't seeing the same, like that movie was getting like rave reviews, and I was like, I wish I could see what you guys
I think
it's probably just because...
Sorry, go on, Jay.
It's probably just because it had Suicide Squad to live up to.
You're kind of right. I won't lie. That's probably what also helped my review of it, where I was like, I mean, this isn't the best picture, like my favorite movie, but also like, I guess it's not awful. Oh, that's what I want to talk about Suicide Squad, because I think I mentioned this when it came out and we're talking about it, but I just want to mention it again. Suicide Squad is also a perfect amalgamation of everything I think James Gunn is both good at and bad at.
Ah, okay. Well, so what was the stuff that you don't like from James Gunn movies that was on display in the Suicide
He's very
Squad?
good at funny, and he's good at banter between friends and like these like group little things. Because Scooby-Doo and all of that.
Heart,
but
the family dynamic there. Like, I think that was good.
Yes. All right. Sorry. I'm also reading reviews at the same time where one of the reviewers I like said, the thing about this movie is that it has a giant starfish named Starro, and I love him. And I'm like, I love Starro too. But it is one of those things where it's like, it just kind of ends with a big boss fight. And sure, that boss fight is like slightly better than regular boss fight, but I don't know. The actual problem I have with this movie is that, it really displays James Gunn's inability surrounding like actual heartfelt emotion, where every time the movie tries to get sappy, it's like I just kind of don't believe it. It's either not believable or just kind of bad.
You don't believe the rat girl loved her dad and her dad loved her?
I believe that.
I don't care about that.
But it was cheesy enough when they not stop the movie. It's at least they're going somewhere where they're in the car and they're like, my dad, and then Idris Elba is like, my daughter, and I'm like, I get it. Just Jesus fucking
cute.
Christ,
I like
James.
That.
I like it, and it's cute, but you don't have to do like the most basic thing where it's like, hey, my father figure's dead. Hey, my daughter figure doesn't trust me. Oh, what wacky hijinks could we get on? It's like, I get it. All right.
Sometimes you just need that level of
you can just build a rapport naturally instead of just being
It's also a very over-the-top movie in general. So, like, I feel like that's in line with the rest of it being as, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's what, like, well, no. It would be fine, but the problem is that other stuff is executed kind of well. Like, when I see them take out an entire encampment of, like, guys, and the joke is, wait a sec, these were the good guys we were supposed to be helping on the island. Like, that shit's funny, and it's firing on some cylinders. But when it's like him being like, "Oh, the emotion," like I think the flashback scenes are like insane in terms of like, all right, dude, I don't think you're good at displaying the emotions of these characters in these scenes. Where like Taika Waititi is just being there and he's like, the rats they are the ones who are not, they don't, society doesn't care about and I'm like, Jesus, what's happening?
I don't know. I also like the tension right before the fight between Peacemaker and Flag. Like, I thought that
that's also good. Yes, I agree. I like Shark Guy. Shark Guy, King Shark.
Fucking
King Shark.
Sylvester
King Shark is my son, and I love him, and you better not do anything to hurt him. Oh, that was another thing. King Shark's entire thing is like, someone needs to be his friend, and at the end, they're like, now we're friends. And you're like, that's not true. Literally, during the last act, everyone abandons King Shark the entire time. That's not fair.
They're all fighting Starro. He's doing
I think we should get a Weasel movie.
Behind.
I would watch a movie about Weasel getting framed
Weasel will return
and getting railroaded by the justice system.
The Multiverse of Madness.
No, Jesus Christ.
I'm convinced that Weasel did nothing wrong.
Dude, that multiverse. Hey, can we talk about how the second after credit scene in No Way Home was literally just an ad? Sorry, I know this might be spoilers to the people who hadn't seen No Way Home.
It's literally not anything to do
with
this is
more of a
movie,
this is literally more of a warning
to
not be tricked by like we were. It's literally. Did you watch the trailer for Multiverse of Madness?
I don't know if that trailer dropped on YouTube yet. Is it out?
I'm pretty sure it's out.
Okay.
My friend at least saw it
in theaters. It's probably out.
Yeah. To be fair, they've done that before. Like, they did that for Avengers back when, like, the movies leading up to Avengers just had, I think, either Thor or Captain America: The First Avenger just had a fucking ad for the Avengers at the end of it.
That might be true, but that was back when that was back when we weren't fucking Pavlov's dog. Where I'm sitting in the theater being like, "Can we go home?" And they're like, "No, we have to see what the after credit scene is." And I'm like, "I don't think we do. I think we can just go home."
I won't spoil what the first after credit scene is because it's at least a little bit more related to the movie, but it's almost as bad.
I just remembered what it was.
Yeah, it's almost as bad as the WandaVision trailer or the fucking Multiverse of Madness trailer. Like, it's almost on that level of like.
So you telling me Spider-Man was in this movie? That's literally what happens.
It's basically what that amounts to. But to steer away from Spider-Man spoilers, as far as just movies that I saw this year, I'm not gonna go through all the fucking horror shit because we talked about that on a previous episode. But I will say, highlight was probably Scream and Scream 2.
Scream's so good, dude.
Lived up to the hype, and then the sequel also lived up to the hype of what came before it. And I really want to see the rest of the Scream movies, and then like I think the new one's coming out like this month, isn't it?
This month, yes.
Yeah, I gotta see the rest of the Scream movies, and
that's what's so funny about Scream is that Scream is a franchise horror, like a horror franchise that I feel like enough people are like, oh yeah, Scream 1's like great, and then they never saw or talked about the other Screams, and when you watch them, you're like, hey, wait a fucking second, why is this one of the most consistent running horror franchises that no one talks about?
Out of all of them, it's Scream.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Scream is it's like the same deal with Snow Crash. It's almost a parody of the genre that ends up defining the genre.
Yeah,
but then the future Scream movies
to do it
are them being like, isn't it funny how all these other movies didn't understand what Scream was about?
Yeah.
And they still make good horror movies while mocking everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible.
Well, they're mocking the characters themselves as well.
Yeah.
Because part of the whole joke is like, haha, the characters are aware of the horror tropes. But that doesn't change anything.
Right. They're still getting fucking murdered. Yeah. And then outside of that, fucking Hereditary was absolutely the scariest thing I saw, and I will never watch that movie again.
Don't eat the peanuts, Nick. It's that fucking easy. Don't eat the peanuts.
I didn't like Hereditary. I thought it was very good. Didn't like it.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Fuck.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I like when the end of the movie comes. I was like, I kind of like that's another thing where Hereditary is like one of the best horror movies ever made, but it's also kind of inherently very silly.
Yeah, I'm sure eventually if I ever come back around to watching it, I can start laughing at some of the things that I know are coming. But like, there are still
it is really funny initially.
Yes,
to me.
Yeah,
because you have like, oh, they're just dead. Okay, well,
yeah. There are still visuals associated with that are fucked up.
No, exactly. That's what makes it it's like a great horror movie where it's like, look at this is some of the most cinematic horror shit you're ever going to see. And then you watch it, and then there are literally scenes where like a grandma walks up to a child and she's like, "You're Beelzebub, the bearer of the demon." And you're like, "What?"
I feel like it's just a part of horror in general. It has to be
that's true.
But that's what I love. That's what I'm saying. And I love that shit.
That's kind of what Scream does, is it walks that line, and it fucking walks it perfectly.
Scream is a literal horror movie where they have the last girl have sex 5 minutes before the end of the movie, and then she fucking takes a gun and shoots the bad guy.
You love to see it. It
fucking rules.
Yeah. So were there other movies that you guys just saw this year that you thought were good that made?
Yeah. Can I toss out one because we're on the horror topic?
No. Sure.
Talk about how bad
old fucking.
No,
rules.
I liked Halloween.
I love old.
Get fucked. I know fucking Red Letter Media hated it, and it has dumb aspects, but I think I don't want to get stuck on talking about Halloween Kills.
Anyway, Jake, just write your review saying more like killed this franchise, and then laugh at it like I do.
What was the horror movie you wanted to talk about, Jacob?
Old. Old is like. Old is another movie where I have it at a 7, and I think I might move it to an 8, where like literally you watch it and you're like, this is so silly and dumb, and then you just get to a point in the movie where we're like, oh, this is I've never seen a man more intentionally make one of the best B horror movies of all time. He literally, Shyamalan, like watching it as someone who enjoys like classic horror, like watching it, you're like, what the fuck? This guy's a fucking mastermind. Holy shit. He's using film like style techniques from like the fucking 40s. Like he's just breezing by. And you're like, this guy, he's just he's just fucking going full force in this movie. And that's what makes it so much fun. I love Old so much. It's got so many stupid lines where people are like, I don't understand why the kids talk like that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's fucking great.
So
I'm fucking Ridley Scott out here being like, I don't think, it's a fucking interview. It's like, I don't think kids, why do kids talk like that? I don't think a lot of kids talk like that. And he's just like, shut the fuck up, enjoy the movie. But on a more serious note, I also disagree with some of those statements because some of those statements are like, I don't think kids would talk like that. And then like I saw it in the theater, I was like, that seems like a weird thing for a kid to say. And then I was like, wait, no, this is the kind of out of touch shit I would say as a kid, where it's like, wait, why does this kid sound like an alien? And then I was like, oh wait, that's because kids fucking talk like aliens. They don't have any context for any of this shit.
That is very true. Like
there's a scene where one of the kids goes, no, we have to remain friends and grow up together so we can have mortgages and houses next to each other. And I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. I love this. Holy shit. I actually gotta find that old quote. Sorry, you guys talking about what you're gonna talk about. I'm about to fucking go fucking off on the IMDb quotes page for this movie.
I'm just trying to think of other movies that I saw this year. I don't know if you guys have anything that comes to mind for y'all.
I got nothing.
I feel like I watched a lot of movies where a woman just kills people.
Badass.
Of varying quality. Well, so I'm looking at the movies from this year, and there was Gunpowder Milkshake, Kate, and Jolt.
Wait, they made a fucking movie out of that shitty soda that all the CSHers love?
No, shut up. All three of which were like the same movie in varying quality.
Okay. Which one?
Jolt was ass. Jolt sucked.
Just like the soda.
I like the soda, but yeah.
I like how the fifth image when you look at
and
Jolt.
Gunpowder Milkshake were both good though.
I need to watch Gunpowder Milkshake.
Gunpowder Milkshake was very enjoyable.
Let Jay talk. Jay's been trying to talk this entire time, Jay. Come on.
Shut up, Jay.
Go on, Jay. Well, sorry. What do you want to say?
I like how the fifth image is the fucking Nerf Jolt blaster, like the tiny ass ones that you see at the Target checkouts. Like the rest of it is all, you know, the film.
Did you Google Jolt? What do you?
Yeah, because I don't watch movies,
god!
So I'm like,
yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck. Or like get an idea.
Kate Beckinsale plays a woman with extreme anger issues that lead her to just murder people. So she wears Jolt. So she wears a harness that electrifies her and calms her down.
That sounds like the opposite of Crank, where he has to
It's fucking awful.
Doesn't Crank have to like jolt himself into a car battery or something to keep him going or whatever the fuck? Like
Oh yeah, he has to keep pumping up his heart rate, otherwise
he has to constantly adrenalize himself. Jesus fucking Christ.
Can I toss out one of my favorite quotes currently on the old IMDb quotes page?
Sure.
Yeah.
Guy. Oh no.
5 out of 15 people found that interesting.
Wait.
All right. Anyway, I like to put you on to the very first quote on the IMDb quotes page, and this isn't even the best quote in the movie, but I saw the quote. I was like, this is the one they added first. What the fuck?
Who the fuck is mid-sized sedan?
You don't understand. He's one of the main characters in the movie. He's fucking great.
Fuck?
Yes, the quote on the quotes page is literally titled "Mid-sized sedan: signs of aging are, in brackets, signs of aging are more noticeable on certain skin colors. Close bracket. First time they wish they were black.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
None of these quotes tell me anything about this movie.
And that's the best part, dude. I fucking love it.
So, I'm curious if you saw, because I remember when there was that period of time when M. Night Shyamalan was just making dog shit movies, like After Earth and fucking The Last Airbender. But then, a bit afterwards, he made, there are no movies, don't worry about it. He made not The Village, which one was it? The Visit? Yeah, The Visit.
Yeah.
And that was, people were like, oh, M. Night's returning to his former glory or something. Is that this? Because and then that movie also had weirdly almost like comical horror going on within it, with like the old people in it. Is it similar?
Yes, like, I have not seen The Visit, but from my understanding, there is a scene in The Visit where one of the old people shits their pants.
Okay.
Much like real life.
And is that equatable to old?
I don't know because I haven't seen it, but kind of. But no, old doesn't have anyone shitting their pants. But old does have some scenes where you're like, this is cool. Anyway, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about because I finally found one of the quotes I was specifically looking for. Trent, age 6, Trent, aged 11, : what is your name and occupation? End of quote.
That's all in the quote?
No, the how
the quote is
the
what
quote
is your name
is
and occupation?
the quote is what is your name and occupation. The notes for who says that is Trent, age 6, comma, Trent, aged 11.
Oh, okay.
Does not make sense.
Gotcha.
It's so fucking good.
I
love Old so much.
Of the movie, but
anyway, he does ask, "What is your name and occupation?" a lot, and it's great. I fucking love it. Oh, I love this movie.
Big old fan here. Try to think what else.
Anyway, the real thing I was looking for is that there is a scene where basically, the daughter is reacting to Midsize Sedan being on the beach, where she goes, "Oh my god, it's that famous rapper," and the dad goes, "Who's that?" And she's like, "Dad, come on, it's Midsize Sedan," and you're like, "Fuck yeah, yeah."
Okay, with the context of that being a rapper's name, that's even fucking better. I love that.
That's pretty good.
Fucking rules.
Oh, you know what's something that I completely forgot about, but the fucking thingy of stuff that came out on like Netflix and whatever. I don't know how my mind went there, but there was a Lord and Miller animated feature that got put on Netflix. I think it was like called The Story of America or something.
Yeah.
It's that like comedy thing about like the founding fathers or whatever. And I thought I went into it and I thought that it was gonna be like way like over the top and like just not funny. But then it turned out that Lord and Miller still have it and wrote some very funny shit.
It turns out Lord and Miller continue to be America's funniest animators. Yeah. Oh no, how'd that happen?
They fucking nailed it, and I wish more people would see it because I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there any other?
I looked up Lord and Miller on Google, and so Google is trying to tell you like here like one of the it's trying to tell you it also has the stats for like children and spouses, but how Google does it is by putting the last name of the person it's associated with. So it just says children, 2, open parentheses, Miller, close parentheses. And you're like, oh, fuck, thanks, guys. That really narrows it down.
Good lord. Yeah, I guess
I like that they have a Wikipedia page for their projects that didn't go anywhere.
How many projects are there that didn't go anywhere?
6, apparently.
Wow, damn.
Ghostbusters, Greatest American Hero reboot, 23 Jump Street, the 21 Jump Street Men in Black crossover.
Right.
21 Jump Street, but with women. A Flash movie.
And then Solo?
Apparently Solo, a Star Wars story, but they got fired from it.
But then they got fucking fired from it.
Yeah.
And you watch that movie and you're like, why is the Ron Howard version the one we're seeing? Like, it seems like the Phil Lord the Lord and Miller version might have also been bad, but even still, like, at least it'd be something to be like, hey, how come no one talks about how the robot's called Leet in the fucking thing? Like, no one, they're L337. It's made by their character made by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. I wonder if that's for a reason. I wonder if there's a joke. And then they're like, no, we have to take it's serious when we make a joke about how Lando wants to fuck the spaceship. Which in the Lord and Miller version probably is like a fucking 20-minute laugh line where they're like, Lando wants to fuck the Falcon? What the fuck?
And it would have been better. I think that would have been funnier to watch, even if it wasn't a good movie overall.
Anyway, Phil Lord and fucking Chris Miller made Clone High, and so therefore I'm in bondage to them.
I'm excited for the Clone High reboot whenever it comes out.
I'm nervous because Clone High is like one of my number one animated shows of all time. Like, this is literally good. Like, people would show up to CSH and I'd be like, hi, I don't know you. Anyway, I'm going to go watch Clone High in the lounge. You better come along.
Get your ass over here.
Yeah, it's just like, it's so good. It's so funny.
I'm also cautiously optimistic about it.
I mean, they haven't failed us yet. You know, they put out one of the best animated films of all fucking time with Into the Spider-Verse.
This is true, but also every time I've been like, maybe the season 2 of this animated show won't be bad, and I'd say 90% of the time it's bad. But then again, that's like a track record set by me including anime into that list. And anime is like a consistent like, hey boys, we made it to season 2. What'd you guys decide to do with the story? And they're like,
Merch.
We decided to be fucking ass. And you're like, what? Why? You're like, literally, that's like, I'm literally sitting there being like, Log Horizon. That season 1 was literally a masterpiece of like fucking television cinema. Ooh, it's got some of the best writing I've ever seen. What are they going to do for season 2? We're going to have a bunch of subplots that don't go anywhere and kind of fucking suck. And you're like, oh, all right. Thanks.
I love it. You'll have to see it.
Fuck.
Listen, who needs plot or writing when you have a character with big tits?
Exactly.
He's got a point.
Counterpoint. What if you make a show called what if you make a manga called Quintessential Quintuplets, which is literally about 5 people who look the same, like intentionally the same, and you're like, what's this dumb harem shit? I'm just gonna watch this on a lark. I just need some fucking dumb ecchi shit to get me through the day. And then you're like, oh no, the writer knows what he's doing. The point of them all looking the same is to fucking trick you into figuring out that they're not the same. They're all individuals with their own individual personalities and fears and wants. And there's an actual story in this show, and you're like, what the fuck happened? Oh my god.
Too scary. Too many interesting things happening.
Wait, you're telling me they all look the same, and that causes them to have anxiety and have a codependent relationship with each other, making it hard for them to branch out and become their own individuals? But part of the show is them meeting this person, and it's a romance anime. But part of that romance is that he's more interested in developing them as human beings than actually like romancing them, because he's fucking poor and doesn't have time for their fucking rich ass bullshit. And then they grow to learn from each other, where he becomes more sociable and they want to grow themselves as a result of finding someone who trusts them to be better people and learn and grow as human beings.
Quintessential Quintuplets. Movie of the year, Jacob Stenstrom, 2020.
I love Quintessential Quintuplets. Quintessential Quintuplets is literally a show where the writer purposely sets up common romance anime tropes just for you to be like, this shit again.
They do
God,
the funny
fuck.
subversion. They do the funny subversion.
Fuck, god damn it. We're gonna fucking do this thing where no one says anything for like 500 years, and he's just gonna be like, I don't know which one to choose. And then literally season 1 is like set up, and you're like, all right, fine, whatever. We got the players. This season was pretty good because you are emotionally attached to all these characters to some extent, where they all have their own hopes and dreams. But there's no way they can fucking stick the landing. And then season 2, they're like, fuck you, dumb
We're gonna stick the landing.
You fucking simpleton. We're going to break all the rules in order to make this show really fucking good. And you're like, oh, fuck, shit. Oh, God. The character I hated in season 1 is now my fucking favorite. She's the best.
There you go.
Looking I finally was able to talk about Quince for the first time on the show when I had it on the list for a year. Cross that one off, boys.
You done it! Congratulations! We're almost at time.
Feels like something
here,
I would have trimmed from the list.
But I
totally trimmed this 6 months ago. This is why we don't ever get to anything on the list, because we talk about one topic and then we spend the whole hour talking about that one topic.
Yeah, I mean, but then we just fucking save that for next week unless it becomes untopical, and then we have to get.
But then we add 20 topics every 5 weeks when Nick bitches. Nobody looks at the topic list.
But looking forward, I'm just curious, is there anything that you guys have that you're anticipating in 2022 movie-wise, since we've just been doing that for the past hour? We might as well end on that.
We were talking about Scream. Give me a sec. I'm going to look up upcoming movies list again. Because I think IMDb... Oh, I have one. Okay. This isn't going to be a good movie.
Wakanda Forever.
No. Morbius the Living Vampire. So
yeah,
you guys know,
baby! Yeah,
you guys know how most vampires are dead, right? Like, they're the living dead. Okay, but Morbius, all right. He's a living vampire. He's not dead at all.
Dude, I'm excited for two twos that are coming out this year. Sonic 2 and fucking Avatar 2.
I just saw that on this list.
Avatar 2, baby.
I can't believe it. Is it actually happening? Are they actually putting out the second Avatar movie?
Knowing James Cameron, he'll be like, it's ready. And then it'll be like December, and he'll be like, actually, it's coming out summer next year. And then it'll actually come out.
When will Top Gun Maverick be delayed again?
Oh, God. What a fucking
oh, that's what sorry. I watched a movie the other day. Licorice Pizza. We don't have to talk about it. I don't really want it because that's going to take another hour for me to talk about that movie. But before, oh wait, no, this wasn't in front of Licorice Pizza. This was in front of Spider-Man No Way Home, where it had a Morbius trailer where they changed one of the lines where Morbius is listing off his powers, and he says, I got some sort of bat radar thing. And I had an aneurysm because it made me realize
what?
You can't trust general movie-going audiences. They're so dumb. They don't know what echolocation is anymore.
Oh,
I don't know if they changed it.
No, that was in the trailer when it came out. I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm just having an aneurysm a second time.
Yeah.
Where I was like, we can't put echolocation. What? No one watched the Magic School Bus anymore? Like, no one was like, shit. I watched the Magic School Bus episode where they were like, hey, you know how bats ping shit? That's called echolocation. And then you're like, oh, cool. I learned about that in elementary school a couple days ago. That sounds fun. Meanwhile, the fucking general movie-going audiences are so brain dead that they're like, you can't trust them with a big word like echolocation. You got to give them like bat radar or something. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Anyway, I understand that I'm only digging my elitism like bigger, but
just make your bed in it. Make your bed fucking lie in it, dude. You're there.
I'm sorry. That is like a lot of my elitism is actually kind of like, haha, it's a joke. I know I'm saying elitist things, like that's part of the thing. I don't actually like want to think lesser of you. I agree that everyone has their different opinions, blah 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 blah. Disclaimer. But that one is actually one that made me mad, where I was like, the worst part is that I cannot tell who's in the wrong here. I can't tell if it's the fucking Sony executives who are like, movie-going audiences are too dumb, they'll never know what echolocation is, or the fact that I think that I've seen enough evidence over the years to be like, no, movie-going audiences are that dumb. They would need someone to tell them it's called bat radar, not echolocation anymore.
I would be willing to believe that there are enough dumb people that they need to do that.
Someone would come out into the fucking open theater like in Last Jedi being like, they said this word called echolocation. That's not a real word. Can you fix the movie?
Oh my god. Movies that I'm looking at on this list that seem interesting to me are The Batman with Robert Pattinson, the fucking Knives Out sequel. Let's go.
Ooh. Aren't they just focusing on Daniel Craig?
I mean, that's fine. Honestly.
That's what I want.
Yeah. And then fucking Jurassic World Dominion, baby!
I'm glad you brought that up.
We fucked up the second movie. Let's see if that dumpster fire is going to continue.
Incorrect.
For the third.
Incorrect. Nicholas is wrong. I see Jay's disagreeing with me with Nick too. I'm sorry. Jacob, I love schlock, is coming in. Jurassic World 1, kind of a snooze.
No,
I know Nick disagrees with me.
Jurassic World 1, fun. Jurassic
World 2 has a scene where a little girl says we're the same as she releases a genetically modified dinosaur
fucking mad.
Kill people. And I'm like, yes. Yes.
Hate that shit. Hate that
so
shit.
Good.
Hate it so goddamn much.
God.
Jurassic World 1
what I'm excited for?
Fucking Jurassic World 1 has a goddamn WWE fight between a T-Rex and a goddamn Indominus Rex.
I do agree. That's a good part.
Yeah, I know. I like that too. But I like Jurassic Park. So that scene of Jurassic World was fun. All right? It was fun.
I actually have a lot of movies coming out that I'm interested in. So everyone else talk about theirs, and then I'm going to go down my list.
You ever think about how Hotel Transylvania is literally just an Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah. And
it has like all of the.
Why are you saying that like it's
Adam Sandler?
It's a good movie, but it has like all of the Adam Sandler cast in it.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Let's see.
I'm excited for It's a Me, Chris Pratt coming out winter 2022.
Oh god, that is supposed to be this year.
Shut. The fucking Halloween movie is also coming.
It's a me, Chris Pratt.
The fucking Halloween ends.
Can't be worse than Kills.
It's. I'm gonna focus on. Actually, no. I'll just go through the entire year.
You get 3, Jacob. You're gonna get 3.
I am limiting you. I get 3.
You get 3.
I'm sorry.
Or cutting you off at 3 because this show's got
Jacob
fucking
gets
end.
3, and they're all.
What if I don't talk about each of them individually and I just go down the list? Also, I just wanted to comment on.
I also
Sonic
don't believe you.
I also want to comment on Sonic 2 because it's weird. I didn't watch Sonic 1. That movie looked really boring from the trailers, but for some reason I see the trailer for Sonic 2 and I'm like, I'm kind of on board. Idris Elba's in it. All right.
Sonic 1 was better.
That was a really good casting for Knuckles, I think.
Yeah, it works. And they literally just pulled the game voice actor for Tails, which I mean,
really
kind of
that's kind of wild.
Yeah, like which is crazy considering they just didn't do that for the other 2. But like, I mean, I enjoy fucking what's Sonic's voice actor's name in the movie? Shit, Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz, yeah, he's funny. And Idris Elba's great, so that's fine. And I will say, what I'm actually legitimately the most hype about is what I already mentioned, which is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Fucking Gordon Miller, fucking Into the Spider-Verse, fucking one of the best movies I've ever seen. So, goddamn, I cannot wait.
Sorry, there's so many movies that I'm just like, I'm gonna have to keep this IMDb tabs open so I can write it down all in my letterbox when I'm ready. But hold on. All right, I'm gonna go quickly down the list.
You're gonna speed run
I don't believe you.
I'm gonna speed run it.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Scream. Operation Fortune, and then a French word don't know how to spell. I kind of want to talk about that one because that's the one that's coming up. I'm gonna keep the ones that I'm gonna talk about.
Keep going down the list. Your speed run's already losing time.
No, he's right. This
ones are terrible.
Morbius.
I like
Moonfall. Jackass Forever.
Oh god.
Death on the Nile. Catwoman Hunted. Marry Me. The Batman.
No.
Downton Abbey: A New Era. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I'm not excited for this one, but just for the meme. Fantastic Beasts: The Secret of Dumbledore.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Where are the beasts? Where are the beasts?
Where are the beasts?
The Unbearable Weight. I'm going to talk about Fantastic Beasts. Don't worry.
No, we're not talking about that in this episode.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. The Bad Guys. The Bob's Burger movie. Jurassic World Dominion. Lightyear. Thor: Love and Thunder. Nope. Fuck? Black Adam. Untitled Illumination Entertainment Project. Which
Thor: Love and Thunder, or is that a movie name?
No, that's a movie. That's Jordan Peele's next movie. It's called Nope. Okay. That's the title.
Okay.
Untitled Illumination Entertainment Project seems strange. Says it's got some people attached to it. Anya Taylor-Joy, Chris Pratt. Don't know what the fuck that could be.
Could be anything.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. This is one I found while looking through the list. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Is it a Shrek movie?
Yeah. Well, no.
Yes, it's a Shrek movie. It's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. It's got Antonio Banderas and Chris Miller.
Jesus Christ.
And Salma Hayek.
Halloween Ends. Paranormal Activity 8: The Other Side.
Shut up.
You can't be serious. You're not actually looking forward to that movie.
James Cameron's Avatar 2. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. End of list.
Okay.
All right.
The Bad Guys
we ready to talk about Operation Fortune real quick?
We're not talking about any of these.
I want to talk about this. This looks really good. I like spy movies. I like Jason Statham.
I like Guy Ritchie. I wasn't a big fan of The Gentleman, but a lot of people liked The Gentleman when it came out. And this was a trailer that I kind of bounced on hard first, and then I saw it again in a movie. And I was like, in an actual movie theater, and I was like, oh no, yeah, you should watch this movie in a movie theater. That's the problem with the trailer, is that when I watched it in a movie theater, and Jason Statham and fucking Hugh Grant and why can't I remember her name all of a sudden? Aubrey Plaza are all fucking doing their movie actor shit on the big screen. I'm like, oh yes, this is why I come to the movie theater. Thank you. I like this.
Oh, it comes out one day after my birthday.
Wow, happy birthday! It's just for you. Guy Ritchie did it just for you.
If it's possible, Jacob, could you drop that short list in the Horsin Around chat for?
Fuck, I'd have to type it out. Yeah, I'll do it afterwards.
Okay.
I'll do it after.
Yeah, go to the IMDb list
because we do gotta wrap this up.
Copy the title of every single one.
Moonfall. Moonfall looks really fucking dumb, but it's a Roland Emmerich movie.
Dumb.
It's a Roland Emmerich movie where the moon attacks the Earth, and I'm like, yes, give me more.
There's like 3 different twists that happen in the trailer for that movie. Like,
it's so funny. It's so funny. No one appreciates 2012 like I do. We need to appreciate 2012 more. That movie's so dumb.
In this movie?
Why is anyone in this movie?
True. Why is this movie? Period. Just end it.
Anyway,
question there. Anyways,
Jackass Forever. Jackass Forever is my third one. Jackass, you gave me 3.
I said 3 to just like, okay, yes, fine.
Jackass Forever is a movie where I've only seen parts of the previous Jackass movies, and by parts I mean clips.
Right.
And I'm going to go back and rewatch all the old Jackass movies, because even though I haven't personally watched Jackass growing up, when the trailer comes on and they're all old and they're like, this is clearly like the last one we will ever like physically be able to do. And we said that during the last one.
Yeah.
Like, that's one where it's just like, it's so like, it really does feel like, even though I never watched Jackass was such a cultural phenomenon growing up.
Yeah.
That I'm like,
I'm blown away that like
all these guys
are alive.
Yes.
Right,
all these guys who kind of grew up during our generation are like these old men now, and they're just like, hey, we're doing this one last one for you and for us. And it's literally like them being like they're bringing in new people, but that's also new people being like, hey guys, come on down, come check out what these old guys who got some old. It's literally feels like let Grandpa pull up a chair and tell you a story about the time I threw myself off a building, and you're like, all right, Grandpa.
Guest appearances in this.
Yeah, Eric Andre was one of them, right? Like
Eric Andre, Shaq,
probably 5
Tony Hawk, Machine Gun Kelly,
holy shit,
Rob Dyrdek. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yes, there are a lot of people who show up in this.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sit through any Jackass movie, because there's some shit like that I've seen from clips that looks so painful that I would cringe.
Yeah, it is. That's the point.
I know, but like,
it was very funny. Like 2 days into filming this, like half the cast like broke all their hips and they had to go to the hospital.
Oh my god!
It was actually just a hazing ceremony. You just take a sledgehammer.
What's crazy is that the stunt they do that causes that is in the trailer.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm really
it's in the trailer, and I didn't realize that, and I heard afterwards, and I was like, wait, will we watch that on the that's not something that they're like say, that's something that's in the trailer, and they don't tell us they all almost fucking died during that.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. So turns out there's actually a decent number of movies we're interested in that are coming out this year. So looking forward to those.
Anyway, fuck you, Nick. Here's my secret fourth one. Everyone should go watch Marry Me so we get more rom-coms in the theaters. Yay! All right, I'm done.
Thank you for that. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me on this trip down movie lane for this week. And until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and peace out.
Okay, I'm going to put this entire list of movies that look cool